Hey guys, how you doing tonight? This is Bear with Bear's Den Acrylic Art, and we are back with another painting video. So, I have my blue painting shirt on. I've got some colors mixed up, and we are going to be doing another flip and lip. The last one that I did got such amazing feedback from everybody. A friend of mine, my friend Nikki, said this should be a new series, and I agree. So I have a bunch of these 18-inch wood rounds anyway, so why not? So the last one was, teals and gold, embellished with gold leaf. This I have more of like a rust kind of color palette, and we'll be embellishing with copper leaf. So I am very excited to see how this turns out because this is one of my favorite color palettes, okay? Now, all of these colors, and you should be able to tell as I grab a stick, we'll use the Royal Ruby. These are on the thinner side, a little thicker than like my Dutch pour consistency, but really not by much, okay? In fact, these paints were all, from my Dutch pour consistency. So I actually I put 2 ounces of paint in the bottom of each cup, and then I added 2/10 of an ounce of mix pour just to thicken. So we have our consistencies all of the same. I have a white flow extender. So let's get to work, shall we? So the first color I have going down, all right, this is Amsterdam's Azo Orange, which is a great color. Next, we have Golden's Quinacridone Burnt Orange, which is one of my favorites. And I want to do, 2 layers of each color, all right? Now, this is Deco Art Dazzling Metallics in the white pearl. And I'm going to do that in a couple different spots. So, Royal Ruby by Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. Then we have Rich Espresso, also by Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. And then rounding it out, well, I'm going to put a little bit more of the white pearl. Rounding it out, I have Sepia by Golden. Okay, so that's it. So now all I'm going to do is go back in and layer the paints again in precisely the same order. Now, we're going to have way too much paint in this cup, but I'm okay with that. I would rather have too much than not enough. That's the rest of the Rich Espresso. We'll finish off this white. And then we'll round it off with the sepia. Okay. So that is that. That's a cool looking cross section, if I may say so. All right. So I have my wood round. It is all leveled. I've got my little tab here, so I know which way is due north. So we'll just put this down just so the paint has something to move over. And this is all going to get tilted off anyway. All right. So we're just going to spread this out a wee bit. I hope everyone's weekend is off to a good start. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl, and you know, as a native Philadelphian, obviously I am excited, to say the least. There's just a lot of buzz in the city right now, and that's only a good thing. All right, so let us clear the decks. Yeah, my school all week was having just little, Eagles, associated snacks and little activities. The kids made these really cool, hats out of construction paper and stuff. It was really cute. So the kids are all really excited. All right, so do you see this? I'm getting ready to pour this like it is a ring pour. Nope, this is a flip cup. All right, so in 3, 2, 1, flip. Not my best flip, but certainly not my worst. I'm not wearing any, so that's a good start. And right off the bat, as usual, I've got some really cool cells and lacing happening. So we're just going to let this kind of transfer its layers. Yeah, initially the color palette that I had, we didn't have the browns. I had some cobalt turquoise and some iridescent green blue, but I decided to switch that up because I think those would, make more mud than anything else. And I think those colors would be great in, say, a ring pour. All right. So now let's all right. So we're going to give this a torch. There are a lot of bubbles because I have this really bad habit of not mixing my paints ahead of time. So there is just a ton of bubbles. All right. So now we're just going to start moving this around, trying to open some things up. And I think what I'm going to do is the end that's closest to you, that's where I'm going to go off first, just because it's a lot of brown. this is cool. And I'm just thinking about composition. Because I am going to be, gilding this. So I want to make sure that where I want to put the leafing is going to make sense. Just kind of walking this. All right. This looks super, super cool. So make sure that is, look, even the glove looks cool. All right, and this gives me a lot to scrape up. All right. So let me deglove. Now I am going to give this one more pass with the torch, just for good measure. But man, this looks really, really cool. All right. All right. There is so much to look at. There is some really great transparency. I'll tell you what, I am going to go around the bottom edge of this, and I'm going to clean things up, and I will see you down here in just a moment for the walkthrough. So, see you back in just a minute. Okay, here are the wet results, and I have to say, I am in love with this. So, as always, pardon the glare. So, let's start with my favorite part. This right here, this little curlicue of the Azo orange. I don't know, it's great. I also love this kind of lacing up here with the sepia. The lacing within the metallic metallic chocolate brown, or a rich espresso rather. There's so much going on, but it's not too busy. I also like that I've got these little baby cells from the flow extender. And a couple right here. So I am still, I'm looking at this, trying to figure out where the copper leafing is going to go. I have a feeling it's going to go kind of towards the bottom, somewhere across this way maybe. I might just keep it on the side and follow some of these contour lines. We shall see. First, it has to dry, so fingers crossed that it dries well, because I will be absolutely crestfallen if it does not. But I mean, man, check that out. The transparency is great. I mean, just the fact that you can see color under color. This is why we don't use, all opaques, and the fact that, the golden paints, the burnt orange is kind of a gloss finish. The metallics are obviously metallic, and the azo orange and the sepia are matte. So it's going to have a lot of texture. This is going to look really good, I think. So let's see what it looks like when it dries. Fingers crossed. Go birds. All right, guys. Well, thank you once again for joining me for this painting video. I always appreciate you giving your time. Yeah. So if you're new and you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe and hitting that thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified of when I upload new content, which is typically once a week. Obviously, please feel free to leave a comment. I try my best to get back to you in a timely manner. This and all of my other work is available for purchase. You can find my other work on my website, www.bearsdenacrylicart.com. You can also find and follow me, if you so, at Facebook and Instagram under Bears Den Acrylic Art. You can even email me directly if you have any questions or would like an original commission at bearsdenacrylicart.com. So, once again, guys, thank you so much, and let's stick around and see what the dry results yield. All right, bye. All right, guys, here are the dry results, and this looks so good. This azo orange little curlicue is still my favorite part, followed by this bit of lacing up through here. This is just a really dynamic piece. And I was debating whether or not I even wanted to embellish this, but it's really dark. So I think the embellishment will go a long ways in kind of lightening it up. So, but I don't want to take too much away. So with my orange Posca marker, I'm just going to start to map out. I'm probably going to start down here, and I'm going to keep it to this area because there's so much going on that I love that I want to keep. So we'll check back in just a couple minutes and we'll see what I map out. Okay, so here we have our shape kind of blocked out. We've got a little bit of a cutout here. Okay, so we're keeping some negative space, and we are going to be following this contour line. I've got my glue gun heating away. So let's check back in a few minutes and see what this thing looks like when all is said and done. All right, friends, here is the final result. As you can see, I put down a line of the glue, had a little peekaboo cutout here, another section right here, and just followed the contour across. So overall, I am really happy with this piece. I think the copper leafing does brighten it up. I love that you can see the texture of the wood round underneath it. I think that's really cool. So once this gets set up a little bit more, I will be varnishing it. I do have to seal it first because you do not put varnish over metal leafing without first sealing it with either an isolation coat or Mod Podge, because it 1000% will oxidize and it does not look good. Believe me, that is a mistake that I only had to make once. So if you ever use metal leafing, if it's imitation, which pretty much 9.5 times out of 10 it's going to be, you have to seal it first with an isolation coat or Mod Podge before you put varnish on it, because it will tarnish. So I know the lighting isn't that great, but I am super pleased with how this turned out.